Tuesday. Happy, 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 happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Happy, 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 happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Hey, happy, 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 hey, happy, 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 happy Tuesday. We're going to get started in just a minute. Let's see. I pray that you all are well. Give me just a second and I will be more attentive. Nope, that is not what we were trying to do. Hold on. You know, people say I'm giving people some time to come on in. I'm really not, but this gives people time to come in, y'all. I'm just setting a few things up here. I don't know why I did that. So, so share, copy link. I'm actually just going to use this time to share the live on Facebook, of course. If I can. If I can. Let's see. I pray that you all had a great day. I'm going to get started shortly. I just was trying to... Oh, here it is. Okay, and after this, we're going to get started. We're going to get started. Post. All right. Happy Tuesday. All right. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. I pray that you all are well. I pray that your families are well. I pray that you had a fantastic and a phenomenal week. I pray that even as you moved forward in your day, that regardless of how you felt, what you experienced, that you found a way to be grateful. I pray that you practice gratitude on today, that even when times were not the greatest and you did not feel your best. Hi, Austin. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I pray that you shift it to gratitude. So for those of you all who do not know me, my name is Dr. JaNee Mobley. I'm affectionately known as Dr. JaNee, and I help professional women who lack focus and fulfillment and self-awareness achieve self-confidence, success, and have the boldness to go for it. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the share button. My day is going absolutely awesome. To be honest, I'm good and sleepy. I haven't even eaten dinner, and I need to eat dinner, Austin. But I want to come on here with you all. So if you haven't already, make sure that you hit the share button, subscribe to my channel, and text this link out to about 2 or 3 people. So, and I'm usually never long. So welcome to Transformational Tuesdays. So Transformational Tuesdays used to be Transformational Mondays, but Transformational Tuesdays is all about, and coming from the scripture, to be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. When you look up, I believe it's the Greek meaning of renew, it means to renovate. It's like, reminds me of renovating a building or a house, meaning that you have to gut the house out, take the windows out. You may have to pull up the carpet, depending on what the building looks like, depending upon what the structure looks like. When you're talking about renewing your mind, you have to think about the things that you have to take out, the things that you need to replace, the things that you need to improve. So Transformational Tuesdays is all about me bringing you all simple tips and strategies on how to create and build a better life for yourself. Again, if you have not already, make sure you subscribe to my channel, and we're going to get started. So today I want to talk to you all about 3 simple things that I have done to really shift my life. I want to tell y'all who stands and sits, well, who's sitting, because I'm not standing today. But in 2012, for those of you all who are new to my space, in 2012, I, long and short, the doctor part of my name is the doctorate of pharmacy. So I'm a pharmacist. I was fired from my job. And not too long after that, my husband was fired from his job. Like, how does that happen? Like, it was literally maybe 2 weeks later. I don't even know if it was 2 weeks later. It was probably within a week. We both were fired from our jobs. Like, what is the likelihood of that happening? And we ended up evicting ourselves because we did not want to be evicted. Total true story. And life just really happened. And we ended up going from having a 6-figure income household to having a no-figure household. Again, if you all haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel. For those, again, if you don't know me, my name is Dr. JaNee Mobley. I'm affectionately known as Dr. JaNee, and I help professional women have the boldness to go for it and walk in their mandate. So in 2012, we literally became homeless. We moved out of our apartment, electing on our own, because I just refused to have like that white slip on my door or the sheriff knocking on my door to help us get our stuff out. So we just decided to control how that was going to go. And we moved in with my sister-in-law in a 2-bedroom duplex. She had 3 children, and my mother-in-law was standing there. So she went literally from a household of 4 people to a household of 6 people. My husband and I slept on the mattress in her living room. And one night we were so prideful, y'all. We literally, and then during that time, I found out that I was pregnant with our son. So I was pregnant, homeless, jobless, with a doctorate degree, and pregnant, like good and pregnant, with our son. And I want to share with you all like what my mindset was that allowed us to shift from being homeless and being in what seemed like a helpless situation to really becoming hopeful, and the mindsets that I use to shift myself out of that. And I even use it now regardless of where I am. So I hope you all are taking notes. And again, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Also, this Thursday, I am hosting the Fulfillment Formula Masterclass. For those of you all who want to create a life of fulfillment and joy, make sure you click the link. It's totally free, and register. So what was one of the first things that I did that really helped me to shift where we were? Like literally, I had never been homeless in my life. I had a doctorate degree, and I was having all of these different emotions. I was pregnant. And I was just like, dog, this is not literally the life that you planned out, right? This is literally not how you planned your life. And I'm one of those type of people that I refuse to complain about something that I'm not willing to change. I remember when I was about 50 pounds greater than what I am right now. And I literally was like, okay, I didn't want to be this big. Like, this is uncomfortable. So instead of me complaining about it, I identified how I can lose weight, and I lost the weight. So I'm one of those, I hate complaining and then refusing to do anything about it. I think that is insanity and a waste of time. So one of the first things that I did is I looked at myself. And I know that may not sound like a huge thing, but that is the best thing that you can ever do in your life. If you want to change your life, if you want to change your income, you want to change your relationships, look at yourself. Look at the role that you played in your situation. People neglect at looking at themselves because we don't ever want to be at fault. We don't ever want to be wrong. We don't ever want to have it wrong. But there is power in looking at yourself, because here is the thing, and the role that you played, you can't control anybody else. You can't control people's actions. You can't control how they react to you or what they say to you, but you can control you. So when you stand in your power and you look at how you played, what role you played in your life, look at your life right now. What aspect of your life are you not pleased with? What aspect of your life do you want to shift? Is it your finances, your faith, your marriage, your income? Like, what aspect of your life do you want to change? And even for me, What aspect of your life looks hopeless right now? And ask yourself, what role did I play in this situation? Yeah, I can point the finger about my supervisor or the company or whatever. But no, what role did I play in it? What role did I play at the time in being homeless? I had to acknowledge that I did not manage my money well enough so that we wouldn't be living with somebody else. I had to look at me. I had to look at the woman in the mirror, because I couldn't change anybody else. But guess what? I could change me. I could change my perspective. I could change the way that I was looking at the situation. And when you look at yourself, you then give yourself the power to do something different. One of the greatest ways that you reduce yourself is pointing the finger at everybody else. That's how people cheat themselves. Good evening. Thank you for you all coming on in. Make sure you just share this live with about 2 or 3 people. We're talking about 3 things that I have done and continue to do that continues to change my life and make me better. And number 1 is I look at the role that I play in it. Even when my husband and I are not on the same page, what role did I play? If my children are responding or reacting, what role did I play? And not saying that it's my fault, but it gives me the opportunity to move different. See, when I looked at my role in the fact of us being homeless, then I had to change my approach. Then it gave me the power to do something different. It allowed me to see things from a different perspective. When I looked at my role, I said, look, I can't control what's going on out there, but I know I have a gift. I know I have the gift of communicating, right? I know I have a gift of transforming lives. So I began to operate in that gift even while I was homeless. What areas of your life are you refusing to look at how you played a role in what your life looks like? Every time you overlook those areas, every time you overlook your role in what's going on in your life, you reduce the power that you have to change it. You don't have to share it with everybody else, but look at your life right now and ask yourself, what role did I play? And then once you identify what role you played, then you can position yourself to change it. When I was 206, I think, about 250 pounds, because I don't like scales. Like, let it be clear. The only reason why I knew my weight is because I went to the doctor pregnant, right? And they had to weigh me every time that I was pregnant. So I was able to get a ballpark, right? And that's, again, my role was mother. My role was wife. My role was being a pharmacist. My role was being a professional. So it allowed me to shift the way that I was thinking. Hey, Jay. Number 2. The number 2 thing that I did and I continue to do that actually allows me to change my life is I always ask myself the right questions. People have become masters at making unintentional or even intentional statements, or even making dumb statements. And statements are anything that end with a period. And when you make statements, it can be concrete. But when you ask the right questions, it begins to open up your brain. It begins to open up the creative side of you to figure out, how can I do this differently? How can I look at this better? Do you realize by the way that you were created to be creative? You were created to be creative. This is why ideas are always popping off in your head. But what happens is a lot of people make dumb statements. They broke, they stupid, or I am something negative, instead of asking yourself the right questions. I could have got depressed. I could have got low. I could have started complaining about being homeless. But I'm like, no, how do I get out of this situation? How do I make my life better? I began to ask those questions, and guess what? I got answers. Whenever you ask a question, good evening, y'all. Come on in and share this live with about 2 or 3 people. When you ask the right questions, guess what? You get answers. And even if you don't know the answers nor have the answers, there will be people that will show up talking about stuff that you had questions about. Where in your life are you making blanket statements when you should be asking questions? How can you become better? How can you see this differently? How do I get out of the position that we're in right now? And guess what I did? I started going to the library and checking out books because I realized that the things that we see are a reflection a lot of the times of how we see ourselves in the positioning of our thinking. What you see in your life right now, a lot of the times you can literally look retrospectively and look at the positioning of your thinking. Everything starts with a thought. Everything. It starts with a thought. So where in your life can you begin to ask the right questions so that you can get the right answers, so that you can improve your life? So look at the area of your life right now that you want to change. A right question can be, how can I change whatever this outcome is? How can I look at this better? How can I position my way of thinking to make this work for me? Good evening. Hey, y'all. Hey. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Tonight, we're talking about 3 ways, 3 thoughts, 3 things that I've done and continue to do that allow me to up level and change my life. Number 1 is I look at the role that I played in any area of my life, whether it's a success or whether it's not a success. Number 2, I always ask myself the right questions instead of making blanket statements. Remember, you were created for a purpose. Your life is intentional. So everything that you do, everything that you say should have an intention behind it. You want to stop wasting your time? Look at your intention. What is the reason that you're doing what you're doing? What is the reason that you're saying what you're saying? What is the reason that you're pursuing what it is that you're pursuing? I just got off of a coaching session with my clients in the mandate journey. And tonight we talked about courageous communication. And even in your communication, you have to make sure that you have an intention in what you're communicating and who you're communicating with. Right? So lastly, I work the biggest thing that I can honestly say, outside of taking responsibility for my life, one of the things that changes my life and has changed my life, outside of in addition to taking responsibility, is I work hardest on myself. I work hardest on myself. You are your biggest and will always be your biggest project. Or at least you should. Because remember, you can't change people, but you can change who? You can change me. You can change you. How do I change my mind? Well, what are you reading? What are you listening to? The entry points and entry access into your mind are your senses. What are you listening to? What are you looking at? What are you paying attention to? The things that Well, Jay, you should work hardest on yourself, because here's the thing. If you are not your best, it's going to reflect on how you communicate with your children and how you show up as a parent for your children. So your biggest work should be working on you. Because even as you work on you, guess what? Your children do more of what you do than what you say. So if you're failing to work on yourself, you're teaching your children how to not work on themselves. But when you work on your mindset, you pay attention to what you're saying, you pay attention to what you're communicating, you pay attention to what you're watching, you pay attention to who you are looking at. I always say, if you want to see what your dominant focus is, go on social media. Go Google something. See what type of ads come up. See what type of feed comes on your timeline. That is a reflection of what you are giving your time to. If it's drama, that's what you're feeding yourself. Because the way the algorithms work, they only give you more of what you have been paying attention to and focusing on. So if you want your life to change, if you want your finances to change, if you want your relationships to change, number one, identify the role you played in it. Number two, ask yourself the right questions. Somebody comment question. You got to ask yourself the right questions. The only way you're going to ask the right questions, the only way you're going to get answers is by asking the right questions. And lastly, you have to work hardest on yourself. So we're going to close out with that. Also, remember this Thursday, I am hosting my masterclass, the Fulfillment Formula Masterclass, for the individual who is ready to create a life of true fulfillment and wholeness and desires to walk in it with boldness and confidence. So make sure you click the link or go to drjanee.net/formula and join me there. Until next time, you all have an amazing